it's only game. Why you have to be mad?
Now I do have some of the suggested team buffs on the blog right here. Best team for Maestro. These are what a lot of the high-end players use. I think that there's a lot of variety in team choices with the City of Asgard. I got 5 teams right here that don't overlap at all, with the exception of Nebula right here. But I think we're probably going to plug Cascade in right here tomorrow. All right, we're going to use Nebula in this team right here, and then we're going to plug Cascade in on Team 5. We're just going to see how that works. I do believe that Cascade's performance in Maestro is going to determine whether or not that he's a hero worth leveling or not. I don't really think he's a very strong hero. If I had to give Cascade a 0 out of 10 rating, I'd probably give him between a 3 and a 4. It's very early. It's a very early statement to say, but it's just how I feel. He's an absolute liability on defense, and on offense, he really only works with Lars and Krista. I mean, he does improve damage output of mages, but what I see a lot of people doing, a big mistake that a lot of players are doing, is combining Cascade and Augustus, and unfortunately that just does not work. Okay, Augustus has the ability to cause all magic damage to convert into pure damage, and he does that at a pretty frequently high rate. Generally speaking, you can't use Augustus unless you have a magic penetration artifact hero. See, his artifact weapon is magic attack, so you commonly see him used with Orion because Orion has got magic penetration artifact weapon, right? Okay, so without a magic penetration buff, Lars is another good example of a hero that can provide magic penetration. Without magic penetration boosting Augustus's effectiveness, he kind of is not where he could be, right? So if you use Augustus with magic penetration, you're better off, but then you run into the issue of not interacting well with this ability right here. Okay, Refluence is the blue ability that Cascade has, that whenever a marked enemy takes magic damage, they suffer additional damage. Now, we have the ability to cause, all the basic attacks of Augustus and others to be magic damage. Augustus then converts that magic damage to pure damage once enemies' magic defenses have been depleted, right? So it's a very common mistake that I'm seeing a lot of. I'm seeing a lot of people use Cascade, Augustus, and others to take out Illyria teams, and yeah, it's effective, but they just cause each other's skills to not be as good. So it's like, it's like rubbing 2 quarters together and getting 40 cents, if that makes sense at all. 2 quarters is 50 cents, and using them together, it ends up being 40 cents total, right? So we're going to try Cascade in Team 5 right here, and we're just going to stick with these buffs right here. The top players on Facebook, the highest damage teams on City of Asgard on Facebook, they have locked their team choices and everything behind a paywall, which I've paid and I'm sharing with you all. So if there's an update to their blog post today, tomorrow, this next week about the effectiveness of teams versus Maestro, then I'll definitely upgrade my blog post. But you should know that even though I've got some teams here that could work out very well against Maestro, generally speaking, Maestro is a manual boss. You need to play in manual mode. You need to learn the fights. And honestly, to me, it's not worth it. It's not worth the effort because the average guild can do much better on Osh. You can get plenty of great resources on Osh. But, if you really want to take it to the next level and you're in that guild that really is expecting 3, 4, 5 boss kills, then you're going to need to learn all of the fights. Okay, you need to learn all of the fights. All of the fights are all out there, but maybe I could share them. Maybe I can check them out on my own. So, HeroWarCentral.com, and here are the buffs that those players that get 600 million damage. These are the buffs that they use. So, yeah, don't forget to buy your buffs, please.